Hey pop shoppers, welcome to Ed Rambeau's little corner of the world.
You to me are sweet as roses in the morning. You to me are soft as summer rain at dawn, and love we share. That's something rare. The sidewalks in the street, the concrete and the clay beneath my feet begins to crumble, but love will never die because we'll see.
Good evening, everyone, or as our good friend Talking Tom says, hi, everybody. This is Ed Rambeau, and welcome to my little corner of the world on Good Time Oldies Radio. For those of you who tuned in 2 weeks ago for my last broadcast, I'm sure you remember the theme was The Great White Way, which brought us many Broadway melodies. Well, you all seem to enjoy that show so much that tonight I've decided to extend the Broadway theme, but with a slightly different angle, which means this evening the theme will be Showstoppers, songs that stopped the show nightly during the Broadway run of the show in which they came from. As a matter of fact, I was in the audience when this first song was performed on stage in the wonderful Man of La Mancha, and it, without a doubt, got the biggest applause of the night. I'm speaking, of course, about The Impossible Dream.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
The Impossible Dream, a showstopper indeed. Before going on to the next showstopper, let me take a little break here to say that knowing how much my listeners all enjoy a request show, I've decided to make the next show just that. Possibly even the next 2 shows, depending on how many actual requests I get. Normally, each half-hour show can have somewhere between 7 or 8 songs, depending on song length. You can make a request in the chat room right now, or you can email me a request at edrambeau@me.com. That's edrambeau@me.com. But remember, it has to be a song I've previously recorded, so you can easily go to my website, edrambeau.com, and click on the Music tab. Then click on any or all CD covers until you find the song that strikes your fancy. In addition, if you'd like to have a photo of yourself included in the video portion of the request show, please email me the photo along with your request to edrambeau@me.com. Now, I realize that some people prefer not to have a photo included, and that's perfectly okay, but please stipulate that along with your request if that's what you so choose. For those of you who've made requests in the past and have had a photo displayed, if you choose to make another request and prefer to have a different photo displayed instead of the one I already have on file for you, just send the new photo to me at edrambeau@me.com along with your request. With that being said, let's return to Showstoppers. I never got to see this next show during its run on Broadway, but I certainly remember the movie. The show in question is Guys and Dolls, and who could ever forget the moment when Stubby Kaye sang this number and brought the house down. It's called Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat.
I dreamed last night I got on the boat to heaven, and by some chance I had brought my dice along, and there I stood, and I hollered someone fade me, but the passengers, they knew right from wrong. For the people all said, sit down, you're rockin' the boat. People all said, sit down, you're rockin' the boat. And the devil will drag you under by the sharp lapel of your checkered coat. Sit down, you're rockin' the boat. I sailed away on that little boat to heaven, and by some chance found a bottle in my fist. And there I stood, nicely passing out the whiskey, but the passengers were bound to resist. For the people all said, beware, you're on a heavenly trip. The people all said, beware, you'll scuttle the ship. And the devil will drag you under by the fancy tie around your wicked throat. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. And as I laughed at those passengers to heaven, a great big wave came and washed me overboard. And as I sang and I hollered, someone saved me, that's the moment I woke up, thank the Lord. And I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And the devil will drag you under with a soul so heavy you'll never float. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, you rock, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, you rock, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down.
Oddly enough, Stubby Kaye was one of those rare actors who also got to perform his original Broadway role in the movie version. And it happened twice for Stubby Kaye, for he not only recreated his character on the screen for Guys and Dolls, but also for Lil Abner with the song Jubilation Tea Corn Poem. Moving along now with our theme for tonight, Showstoppers, here's a song that I got to see performed by two wonderful actors. Not at the same time, of course. The play was Fiddler on the Roof, and the first time I saw it was with Zero Mostel, the second time with Herschel Bernardi. Both were incredibly talented and perfect for the part of Tevye. This show actually had quite a bit of Showstoppers, but one of the most memorable is the one I've selected to play tonight. Please enjoy my rendition of this remarkable showstopper, If I Were a Rich Man.
Dear God, you made many, many poor people. I realize, of course, that it's no shame to be poor, but it's no great honor either. So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune? If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy biddy boom. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a biddy biddy rich, yiddle diddle 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 man, I'd build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. There could be one long staircase just going up and one even longer coming down. and one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese and ducks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can. And each loud would land like a trumpet on the ear, as if to say, here lives a wealthy man. If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy biddy boom. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a biddy biddy rich, yidle diddle 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 man, I see my wife, my Goldie, looking like a rich man's wife with a proper double chin, supervising meals to her heart's delight. I see her putting on airs and strutting like a peacock. Oh, what a happy mood she's in, screaming at the servants day and night. The most important men in town will come to fawn on me. They will ask me to advise them as the solemn and the wise. If you please, Reptavia, pardon me, Reptavia, posing problems that would cross a rabbi's eyes. And it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're rich, they think you really know. If I were rich, I'd have the time that I lack to sit in the synagogue and pray, and maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. And I discuss the holy books with the learned men 7 hours every day. That would be the sweetest thing of all. If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy biddy boom. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Lord, who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy man?
I had a lot of fun trying to recreate the character of Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof, because in reality, it's a character that I'm about as much the type to play as that of Virginia Woolf. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and for those of you who may have just tuned in, you're listening to Ed Rambeau, and this is My Little Corner of the World on Good Time Oldies Radio. That's goodtimeoldies.info. Tonight's theme, Showstoppers, Broadway classics that brought the house down. But before moving on, once again, a reminder, I need requests for my next show. So if you're in the chat room and you haven't already done so, please take a moment to send along your request. And if you need time to check out my website first, do so right after tonight's show and then email me your request. And remember, if I already have a photo of you, but you'd prefer I use an alternative shot, don't forget to email me that photo along with your request. My email address once again is edrambeau@me.com. edrambeau@me.com. And now, without any further ado, it's time to say hello to America's favorite pussycat, Talking Tom. What's the matter, Tom? You seem to be all out of breath.
I was running, and I wasn't planning on running.
Well, if you weren't planning on running, why were you running?
Because those damn cops came out of nowhere.
All right. We have time for one quick joke, Tom, so make it a goodie.
A goodie? Huh. I can guarantee it'll be better than your singing.
Never mind. Let's hear the joke.
Okay. A dishonest lawyer named Murphy bribed a man on his client's jury to hold out for a charge of manslaughter, as opposed to the charge of murder, which was brought by the state. One carried a penalty of 15 years, while the other was a life sentence. The jury was out for several days before they returned with the manslaughter verdict. When Murphy paid the corrupt juror, he asked him if he had a very difficult time convincing the other jurors to see things his way. Sure did, the guy replied. The other 11 kept voting to acquit.
Good one, Tom. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, really? Then how come I don't see you laughing?
I'm laughing inwardly. Now say goodnight.
Good night, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. But for now, Angelina awaits.
Angelina? What happened to your catnip?
She now carries it in her purse, and I have to fight her for it.
Oh, okay. Good night, Tom. So there you have it, folks. Another harrowing experience with America's favorite pussycat, Talking Tom. Returning now to tonight's theme, Showstoppers, in Jekyll and Hyde, there comes a moment when Dr. Jekyll is about to experiment with his potion for the very first time. And that's when he sings this showstopper, entitled, This is the Moment.
This is the moment. This is the day. This is the moment when I know I'm on my way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment. This is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this momentous moment. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming becomes one. This is the day. Just see it shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. This is the moment. This is the hour when I can open up tomorrow like a flower and put my hand to everything I plan to fulfill my grand design, see all my stars align. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckon second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the greatest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will recall moment for moment. This was the moment, the greatest moment of them all.
Here's one from My Fair Lady entitled An Ordinary Man. Hope you enjoy my take on it.
Have you ever met a man of good character where women are concerned? Well, I haven't. I find that the moment a woman makes friends with me, she becomes jealous, exacting, suspicious, and a damn nuisance. And I find the moment I make friends with a woman, I become selfish and tyrannical. So here I am, a confirmed old bachelor and likely to remain so. Well, after all, Pickering, I'm an ordinary man who desires nothing more than just an ordinary chance to live exactly as he likes and do precisely what he wants. An average man am I, of no eccentric whim, who likes to live his life free of strife, doing whatever he thinks is best for him. Just an ordinary man. But let a woman in your life, and your serenity is through. She'll redecorate your home from the cellar to the dome, then go on to the enthralling fun of overhauling you. Let a woman in your life, and you're up against a wall. Make a plan and you will find she has something else in mind, and so rather than do either, you do something else that neither like at all. You want to talk of Keats or Milton, she only wants to talk of love. You go to see a play or ballet and spend it searching for her glove. Let a woman in your life, and you invite eternal strife. Let them buy their wedding bands for those anxious little hands. I'd be equally as willing for a dentist to be drilling than to ever let a woman in my life. I'm a very gentle man, even-tempered and good-natured, whom you never hear complain, who has the milk of human kindness by the quart in every vein. A patient man am I, down to my fingertips, the sort who never could, never would let an insulting remark escape his lips. Very gentle man. But let a woman in your life, and patience hasn't got a chance. She will beg you for advice, your reply will be concise, and she'll listen very nicely, then go out and do precisely what she wants. You were a man of grace and polish, you never spoke above a hush. Now all at once you're using language that would make a sailor blush. Let a woman in your life, and you're plunging in the knife. Let the others of my sex tie the knot around their necks. I prefer a new edition of the Spanish Inquisition than to ever let a woman in my life. I'm a quiet living man who prefers to spend the evenings in the silence of his room, who likes an atmosphere as restful as an undiscovered tomb. A pensive man am I, a philosophic joy, who likes to meditate, contemplate, free from humanity's mad inhuman noise. Quiet living man. But let a woman in your life, and your sabbatical is through. In a line that never ends come an army of her friends, come to jabber and to chatter and to tell her what the matter is with you. She'll have a booming, boisterous family who will descend on you en masse. She'll have a large Wagnerian mother with a voice that shatters glass. Let a woman in your life. Let a woman in your life. I shall never let a woman in my life.
Originally sung on Broadway by the one and only Rex Harrison, that was An Ordinary Man. This next showstopper hails from the Broadway version of the smash film La Cage aux Folles. It's the moment in the show when the more effeminate of the two main characters makes this bold statement: I am what I am.
I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So come, take a look. Give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am what I am. I don't want praise, I don't want pity. I bang my own drum. Some think it's noise, I think it's pretty. And so what if I love each sparkle and each spangle? Why not try to see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own deck, sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces. It's one life, and there's no return and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can shout, hey world, I am what
To close this evening's show, I've chosen a song that I first heard being sung by Glenn Close as I sat in the audience of the Broadway production entitled Sunset Boulevard. The moment I heard it, I knew I wanted to record it so bad, but also knew I'd have to find a way to change the lyrics to make it work for a male singer. Well, with some slight changes, I managed to make it work. Originally sung by Glenn Close, portraying the character of the great Norma Desmond, please enjoy my version of With One Look.
They don't want her anymore. They all say she's through. Well, it's time they knew. With one look, she can break your heart. With one look, she played every part. She can make your sad heart sing. With one look, you'll know all you need to know. With one smile, she's the girl next door. All the love that you've hungered for. When she speaks, it's with her soul. She can play any role. No words can tell the stories her eyes tell. Watch her when she frowns. You can't write that down. You know I'm right. It's there in black and white. When she looks your way, you'll hear what she'll say. Yes, with one look, she puts words to shame. Just one look sets the screen aflame. Silent music starts to play. One tear in her eye makes the whole world cry. With one look, they'll forgive the past. They'll rejoice she's returned at last to her people in the dark. Still out there in the dark. Silent music starts to play. With one look, you'll know all you need to know. With one look, she'll ignite a blaze. She'll return to her glory days. They'll say Norma's back at last. This time she's staying for good. She'll be back where she was born to be. With one look, wait and see.
Before saying goodnight, don't forget to submit your request for my next show. And there is also one more thing I'd like to definitely address, and that's the recent birthday of Nettie Bach, who, if she were still with us, would have celebrated her 70th birthday this past May 4th. So happy birthday, Nettie, and while forever feeling the eternal love I have for you in my heart, may you continue to rest in peace. With that being said, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight, and I hope to see you all back here 2 weeks from this evening. In the meantime, this is Ed Rambeau, and from my little corner of the world to yours, here's wishing you an awesome evening with Stu, along with a fabulous weekend to follow. Now please stay tuned for Mr. Stu Weiss and his one and only Pop Shop. Good night with buckets of love, everyone.